Hello, everyone. Casper Stockham here with I Am Love Builders, and I am super jazzed to talk to these two gentlemen. I've had the pleasure of talking to them off and on now for the past few months, and we are gearing up for an event that's going to be happening in Philly. It's going to be connected with the Guinness World Record organization, and I have the man that's organizing it and one of the leaders that's also a part of the event, and I wanted to just bring you guys on to talk about it. So we have Jim Hetherington. Is that correct? Did I pronounce it right, Jim? Uh-oh, Jim frozen?
Yeah, it's definitely correct, Jim Hetherington.
Okay,
You got
okay.
it right.
Okay, and then we have Emilio Roman. So
He's back.
is he back?
I'm back. I keep
All right. All right,
jumping
so
in and out of
Jim,
here.
so Jim, I want to go through some questions that I have and stuff, but this is a free-flowing conversation, an interview. I had a chance to meet you several weeks ago, thanks to Emilio. He introduced us, and he was telling me about the event, and I thought it was a fantastic idea. Then you and I chatted, and then my wife and I made the decision to definitely be a part of it. But please tell the folks, what are we a part of? What are we doing?
What am I doing? What have I signed myself up for? That's always you always want to find that out before you start starting on the topic. No, I've had this in my mind for about a year to do a Guinness World Record attempt. And so as I've been working on it and talking with different people, I was talking with some close friends down in the Philadelphia, New Jersey area, New York, down in that area.
Sure.
And they said, we need to do something remarkable for the 250th anniversary. And I thought, well, let's just do it all there. So that's what we're doing. We're putting together this historic one in a lifetime event where we're going to do a Guinness World Records attempt celebrating the 250th anniversary, and we're doing it to support and encourage legacy building, because we're all about legacy building. We don't want to do just stuff what we're doing for today. We want to do it for next year and 10 years. We want our great grandkids talk.
Correct. Oops. You there?
Yeah.
Drop off. Did we lose Jim? You're back.
I'm back. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with the internet here tonight.
So much energy, Jim. It's too much energy. He's bringing it from Canada.
Yes. All right. So Emilio, who is this event for? I mean, who should be really thinking about joining us in Philly for this event?
Yeah, no, great. And just exactly what Jim was saying. It's about legacy building. And so Jim is someone who's trusted in this space. He actually runs the authority building system. So he's helped authors, speakers, anyone in the space of supporting others. This is for you, right? Because what Jim has curated here is really going to help anyone who wants to create more impact and influence in their niche. This is it. And I'll give you a quick example. If you are a dog groomer, if you are a bartender, real estate agent, like outside of your recognition, imagine being the dog walker who was in the Guinness World Record. Imagine the bartender. You will forever be known as that person. You will stand out as what? The authority, as
Right.
Jim has created.
Right. I've always thought that everyone really has a book in them. Especially if you're in business, especially if you're out there in the public and stuff, or even if you're not, we all have our life experiences that are going on, and we all have things that other people need to know, right? Different challenges that we've gone through and we've gotten through them. Well, that's a book, right? Right? And so it's exciting to be a part of this event. And my wife and I were talking about it. We said, we have to do this. And then we decided that not only do we need to do, because I was talking with Jim, and if you talk to Jim, your mind starts to expand, right? You start to think about all kinds of different additional opportunities. So my wife and I were thinking about this, and I said, well, actually, Jim was telling me about another person who's coming, and she was doing something. I can't remember exactly what she was doing, but she was doing something in conjunction with the event. She was doing something a little bit extra. And I said, maybe we could do something a little bit extra. Maybe we could bring something more to this event from our side, from the Love Builder side. And I was thinking about it. I said, we need to write another book. Why not, right? so, so we thought about a book title, and the title came up as The Marriage Constitution, because we wanted to have something that kind of related to the the 250-year anniversary of America. So we came up with the Marriage Constitution, and we're going to have 250 commitments that couples need to make in order to have a happy, successful marriage. And we are in the process of getting that book put together as we speak. So we're super, super excited about that. And but this just all came, this is like 3 weeks now or more. And now we're in this process.
Jasper, before I forget, I'm excited, and I don't want to overstep my boundary.
No.
But who's doing the forward on this thing?
Well, Jim is doing one of the forwards. Yeah.
That was great.
And and so is Jose. Jose is writing a forward as well. Yeah. And we can have 3 forwards. If you want to write a forward, we have 3 forwards. Might as well.
Jim is the authority on marriage.
Trifecta.
Trifecta. Might as well have 3 forwards on there. So get ready. It's coming your way. We got to get it written and stuff, and it'll be coming your way. But Jim, so this is going to be in Philly. It's going to be the 30th of May. That's the main event. But I believe there's some events kind of around that event as well. So what's going on with that?
Yeah, so we're going to, the full day is going to be on the 30th, but the 29th, we're opening this up for VIPs and the sponsors and other elite level people to come in that want to have a gathering, to get together and network and encourage and support one another. And we're going to do something remarkable on the Friday evening, just on the evening for a few hours.
Okay.
And so that's, that'll really round off the whole event. But, you've taken what this event is all about, saying, how can we leverage who we are, what we do, who we support, and you've taken it, you've run with it. You've come up with a book idea. And that's exactly what we want to do here, is create an event where people can learn how to leverage. How do we really leverage the wisdom, the experience that we've gone through? Because you're right, everybody's got a story, and we've made it so simple. We've made it simple for authors that are already authors. It's a simple form. Submit your chapter. For those that are not authors, this is a perfect opportunity for you to get into the authority space of becoming an author and having it wrapped around this event. Like Emilio said, it's a one-in-a-lifetime thing. And to be able to say, I was part of that. I was part of a Guinness World Record. I launched my first book. It's just absolutely amazing. Yeah, you get to do that forever. And that's the exciting part. And it's tied into this whole historic part. But the thing is, when I work with the clients that I work with, the people that authors, leaders, speakers, entrepreneurs, business owners, they all say the same thing. How do we leverage these things? How do we get things to move further down the road? And that's what we want to set up with this. There's going to be opportunities to get photographs, to get videographs, to get all kinds of stuff. So you've got media assets. I'm going to take everybody through an exercise, and in 15 minutes, not even that, 5 minutes, we'll have a month's worth of content that you're going to be able to leverage after you leave the event. And we're going to do pre-events and post-events virtually so that we can continue to support people on this, because we want to see people go to that next level and really succeed.
Yeah. I noticed when I was filling out the form, yes, we are authors, but as I was filling out the form, I said, this is not, as we've been saying, it's not just for someone who has a book already, because as you're filling out the form, you can literally be promoting your business throughout the form as you're going through. So this is a great way to get your business information out there as well in this book that's going to be signed by hopefully 250 of us right at the event. But we definitely need to break the record. Now, what's the record right now?
So currently the record is 126. So we need 130. So we've rounded up to 130. So we need a minimum of 130. The aspiration is 250 to align with the 250th anniversary. Yeah. So to your point, somebody getting into this book, now your name is going 130 to 250 different areas. That's the power of leveraging a co-author book and just having a project like this. And it's a win-win. Get your name in here, and now all of a sudden it's going into new markets that you've never been into before.
That's phenomenal. So, Emilio, speak to the why. Speak to that why factor because for Cheryl and I, you told us about it and you said, I don't know if this is for you guys or not right now with the timing and everything, but I think you should really think about it, right? So we started to think about it and we started to pray about it. But from your perspective, why is this event something that people should really consider coming to in May?
Listen, thank you for the question. I'm telling you, I'm like a little kid, right, in a sandbox. Because when I did this in 2020, and by the way, for those of you watching, Jim is attempting to break the record, and I know he's going to do it. The record here is 100. So you will end up, Jim, and Jim can speak to this, but this is the certificate, right, Jim, that they'll wind up getting something similar to this. So when this was presented to me, Casper, I was like, Guinness World Record? Like, you mean I don't have to eat like 1,000 eggs or something like that? Because we all know the Guinness World Record is one of the best documented. They really have a grasp on events. So to get into the Guinness World Record, what you guys don't know is all the hard work that Jim is going and doing to do this. This is not something that happens all the time. So I can speak to this, Casper and Jim, what this has done for me. No exaggeration. I've generated over 6 figures just by leveraging this on my shows. Whenever I am on a podcast, the one thing I'll say about this, I was at a networking event like a lot of us go to. Mm-hmm. They went around, passed the microphone, and they said, we're going to do something different. We're going to go ahead and introduce yourself. And one thing that most people don't know about you. So I was ready.
Yeah.
I had it in my hip pocket. Everybody was, I'm a doctor of chiropractor. I run a multi-million-dollar business, right? Everybody was rightfully saying, my name is Emilio Roman, and most people don't know that I'm in the Guinness World Record for being one of the most authors signing a book simultaneously. Yeah. I didn't have any of those credentials. Guess who wound up having conversations?
Yes.
Because I made people go wow in their heads.
Yeah.
If anything, that's it. The wow factor.
Wow. So, Jim, as Emilio was alluding to, this is not an easy process to get started. It's not an organization that just says, "Oh yeah, come on in. Let's hear about what you got." So, kind of walk us through the process of getting connected with these guys to even have this attempt, even to be official.
Yeah. No, it has been quite a journey just in that. I was looking through one of the email threads that I had with the original person I connected with, and there's almost 50 emails. There's like 48 or 49 emails just back and forth just with that department. not to mention everybody else we had to talk with. So, the first step is just kind of figure out which attempt you want to go after, how you're going to set it up, and then start reaching out to them, set up an interview. We did a video interview. And then you get past that deeper, you go on to another person, then you start going through, and then they want to know the full structure and who's going to be involved and how it's going to operate and what's going to be connected. And we start to build out the whole thing before they decide whether you can be a part of it. And then, then they they suggest the budget that it's going to take to be able to use the official attempt record, like use Guinness logo, and they're very particular on how you use that. And so it's a whole learning curve of how to use that and how not to use it and all that stuff. So yeah, it's an ongoing process, and it's taken almost a year to do it.
So you also have a partner who's helping you with this, right? Are you connected with CLA, Jose Escobar, right? He's also partnering with you to sponsor this event.
Yes. So I've been part of the Connected Leaders Academy for a couple of years now. So I mentioned it to him, and so we have kind of collaborated on doing the event part of it to help build it. And Emilio's been an amazing ambassador, if you will, to supporting and just reaching out and getting the word out. And now you, Casper, you're getting hold of it. And if I could turn the interview table around for a minute, I'd like to ask you what excited you about saying yes to this.
Well, Emilio, right? I was joking with him on our show because him and his wife came on our show on Sunday, and you and your wife are going to be on our show as well.
That's right. We're coming up soon.
But I'm in Denver, so I'm Mountain Time, right? You guys are on East Coast time. So by the time I get up, Emilio's already done like 5 or 10 different Facebook lives, man. I turn on Facebook Live. I'm like, yeah, like, share, like, share. Okay, I'm tired. I'm going back to bed. 'Cause I'm tired after watching him, his Facebook lives. But he does a great job, obviously.
Yeah.
But no, he was telling me about it, and I said, that's something we definitely should lean into. And we prayed about it. I mean, it wasn't a quick decision because it is a financial commitment, and plus getting there and hotel and rent a car, whatever. It's a commitment. But we're ready, to take that leap, and we're ready to to take everything we're doing to the next level. And this would be a next level for us. Being at this event. So I talked to the wife, we prayed about it, and I just said, you know what, we need to do it. And then adding the book on top of it, we're like super excited about that because we've written several books, but this is a book that actually has a lot of legs and components to it, because it's not just the book by itself. There's pillars to it that can turn into workbooks and study guides for churches and everything else. So it's really turning into even a larger idea than I originally thought, just coming to the Guinness World Record event and hanging out with you guys. So.
That's great. Well, I'm so excited that you're going to make that commitment and come up. I mean, we've got people committed from Texas. We got some coming in from Texas. We got people from Canada coming down, of course, not just me and my wife, but we got others coming down from Canada. There's people coming up from Georgia, Florida, and now you guys. So it's exciting that there's so many people just coming in from all over the place.
Yeah. So Friday nights for VIPs, do you know roughly what time you're going to start that event?
Yeah, we're going to start about 7:30, and it'll just go for a few hours. So just enough to network, encourage, and support one another. We'll have a few different things going on throughout that time together as well. But you just want to be in the room, with people that are thinking at that level. People that come and show up at the VIP. They're playing full out. They're really committed to things. So those are the people that you want to hang around with.
Yeah, and we signed up for that, so we'll be there. For sure.
Just the inspiration that you've got writing this book and coming up with those ideas. Imagine being in a room with other people, like Emilio and myself and others that are thinking at that level. Then you're going to go away your head's just going to be pounding with all the ideas and thoughts and the collaborations and the different things that you can do down the road. So
absolutely,
that's going to be exciting.
Okay, so Friday night is going to be a networking event. Will there be any kind? It'll just be kind of almost like, I want to say mixer, hanging out, right? It's not going to be tables and booths or anything like that, right?
No, it's not going to be tables or booths. You're coming. You're not going to be sold to. You're not going to be, none of that stuff. It's just more of a mixer, more of a gathering where we can just support, encourage each other, build some relationships, and so that Saturday now we're ready. We're hitting the ground running, right? We've built some relationships. We already know some people in the room. Our ideas, the thoughts already starting to germinate, and now we're going into the full day Saturday. Now we can start to really, take it to that next level and take full advantage of all the stuff that's happening that day.
Yeah. And you mentioned Saturday full day. I'm looking at the schedule, and it's a full day, right? It starts at, what time does it start on Saturday?
So we're going to start at 8:30. We're going to start coming in at 8:30. We'll go till about 5 o'clock, and then we actually have an after hours room where we'll go for a few more hours. So we're basically going from 8 in the morning till 8 at night with stuff going on throughout the whole day.
That's going to be phenomenal. I'm super jazzed about it.
And to add to what Jim is saying, and again, I'm really excited. What Jim didn't share was he's also curated a media room, right? So there's going to be podcasters there, people interviewing you. So if you're on the fence and you're like, okay, so what are we going to do? So if you have your own book, you have your own show, this is a great time. Imagine when this thing goes down and this whole thing goes down and they give you the timer, and I've been through it. So I'm like, wow. And I mean, it's like these moments are going to leverage your brand like nothing else can. It's just nothing has ever leveraged my brand like the Guinness World Record. So Jim, I thank you for bringing us all together. There's a lot of people that are going to be indebted to you because a lot of people's brands are going to level up.
Yeah, no, and thanks for bringing that up, because you're right. I mean, we're setting up little media stations around the place so that there's going to be opportunity to do that. So yeah, anybody that's listening that's on the fence, like if you've got a book or you're thinking of a book or whatever, bring your book along and you can stage it. So now you can make it look like it's a book launch. You can gather a few people around, sign some copies, get some pictures of that. I mean, it's just going to be an amazing thing. You're going to come away with all kinds of media assets that you can leverage, for months and years down the road. To give you an example, I just reposted a picture that I co-authored a book. I think it was almost 5 years ago with Brian Tracy, and I reposted that just recently, and I had 2 or 3 people reach out to me, connect, and one became a client. Just reposting something that happened 5 years ago. So that's the kind of stuff we're talking about, is how do we leverage this stuff? How do we take advantage of opportunities, rooms like this, maximize those and take those assets and begin to use them, year after year.
Yeah, it's going to be a great event. Again, we're like 2 months away, but the energy is starting to increase. We're starting to do a lot of things to prepare for this event. So we're just really, I don't know, we're not overwhelmed at all, but they're just trying not to get too excited just yet, because I can't maintain that Emilio level of excitement for 2 months.
Not all of us can.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I have to wait till I get a little bit closer, then I'll get to that Emilio level.
Yeah. And you know what, Jasper, and here's what a lot of people are not privy to. The lineup of speakers that Jim has, and the people, I'm privy to know some of the speakers, and I'm telling you, you don't want to miss this. Like, if you are a person who knows that it's about networking, it's not what you know, it's who you know, right? Someone who can really put you in a position to level up your brand, your mission. If you're in ministry, Jim Hetherington is the man. He's in that space. Casper and Cheryl, you both are in that. So especially if you're in the ministry, this is really a blessed place to be.
Yeah, and you bring up another good point, because this is our first time and we're having this discussion. But there's so many different aspects to this. It's not just signing the book and saying, shaking a couple of hands and that's it. Jim, I believe you're going to be doing some training at the event. There's going to be other speakers doing some training and some sharing some content things. There's going to be a lot of things going on throughout the day, and then at the end, we kind of just relax a little bit, loosen the tie a little bit, and just say, "Wow, that was a full day." Now, is that it though? At Saturday night, is that it? Are we going to be doing anything on Sunday or?
Yeah, so Sunday is just kind of open. What we're really, what we wanted to do was open up space so that when people have the full day, the Friday evening to gather and to connect, the full day Saturday, that the relationships will build. I think a lot of people, for those that are going to be able to stay over an extra night and stay around Sunday, we wanted to create space where they could say, hey, let's go out for brunch, let's grab some breakfast, let's grab a lunch, let's grab something together and start building some networking and just kind of expand on that. So that's really what we wanted to just allow happen on the Sunday, was just to, let it be a spillover and just let the community start, let the little pockets start to expand and grow.
Well, in my years of networking, I've always learned that there's a meeting after the meeting after the meeting. So It sounds like the best thing to do is to not leave Saturday after the meeting.
That's right.
Sounds like just stay over one more night, just hang out with us in the morning. Let's have some breakfast. Let's kind of, just kind of do our thing on Sunday morning. And then if you want to leave Sunday afternoon or whatever, feel free. But all right. Well, wow. It's a lot going on. Any final thoughts? We have about 5 minutes left. I'm going to start with Emilio, and then Jim will give you your final thoughts on that.
Listen, a day of labor, a lifetime of favor. Think about that. You do whatever you got to do to get there. Okay. If you got to borrow the money, if you got to do whatever you got to do, but get there, be in the room, be a part of this project. And finally, life shrinks or expands according to one's courage. I live by that. A lot of us, you may feel a little nervous, but I'm telling you, you're going to be in the room with the right people.
Amen.
Yeah.
Jim, final thoughts?
That's good. Yeah, no, what I want to encourage people with is, I think we could, if we all thought back in our journey, whether it's in business, whether it's friendships, whether relationships, we can all think of maybe one or two moments where we said, you know what, I should have stepped in, I should have done that thing, right? I should have gone to that event, I should have met that person. And I don't want people to, allow May 30th to go by and go, wow, I should have been there. Because that's what's going to happen. May 31st is going to come around, and you're either going to say, I was there, I was part of that historical event that happened around the 250th anniversary, built some amazing relationships, or you're going to say, I missed it. I wasn't there. And so we are going to pour out as much value and create as much opportunity as we can through this day. That's one of the things that I love to do. That's why I love to gather those kind of people around that want to pour value and want to pour into people. And so that's what we're going to do. So my encouragement is to really look at this. And as Emilio say, if you can afford to come in at the VIP level and play full out for the full weekend, stay for a couple nights, wonderful. If your budget only allows you to come in for the day and enjoy the day, do that. But don't let the opportunity to go by, because it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, to have the 250th anniversary, this attempt, everything all lined up. It's just one of those moments where I don't want people to go, I wish I was there. I want you to say, I was there.
Yeah. And you asked me earlier, what got us to lean into this, and I'm a patriot at heart, right? So, that 250-year anniversary to me is like you said, there's only one time. This is the year, right?
Yeah.
So we need to make that happen. Hey guys, I am so appreciative you came on the interview to talk to us at I Am Love Builders. We're looking so forward to meeting you guys in person for the first time in May, and I'm sure there'll be other times after that. Cheryl and I are super excited. And folks, you've been watching a interview with Jim Hetherington and Emilio Roman. And we will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
God bless
Thanks
you.
for doing this.
Yeah.
Thank you.